5 years ago, I stepped away from YouTube. Today, I'm back. And one of the biggest reasons is in front of you now. I was able to buy this land with cash. People assume that means I had a high income, but that's not my story. It happened because I completely changed the way I handled money. Today, I'm showing you the exact cash budgeting system that made buying this land possible. And if I can do it, I truly believe you can too. Okay, so I'm back home and I'm gonna show you my cash budgeting system. So what I do is every Friday, I have a regular job that like everybody else, and on Fridays when I get paid, I go to the bank and I take out my paycheck in certain increments that represent different categories that I have for my spending plan. So I'm just going to take this out of the way and show you my spending plan. It's super duper easy. So let's see, am I in the right? So here's the spending plan, if you can see it. This right here is just my day timer. This is just my planner, my day timer that I use every day for everyday stuff. But in the back of it, I have some blank pages. And what I've done here is I have listed all of my categories for spending. And I've listed the least amount that I could possibly spend in those categories. And I hope you can see this, but they total up this amount of money. So what I do is $460. That includes rent. I'm saving for a new vehicle when I have to buy one. It includes everything. This is everything that I have to budget money for. And so what I do is adds up to $460. Well, anything that I have over $460, like say my check was $660. Well, I take that extra $200 and I put it in my house fund. And so whatever I have over and above what I need for bills is what I put toward my house. So I have gone through and figured out how many hundreds, how many 50s, how many 20s, how many 10s, how many 5s, and I don't do 1s. I did do 1s, though, when I was paying off debt. But I don't do 1s now because I'm all paid up in debt. So anyway, I figure out how many of all the different denominations I need. I total them up here, so I know I need like 10 5s, 7 10s, 2 20s, 2 50s, and 2 100s. That all adds up to the $460 that I need. So I take these slips here, which I got at Amazon. I got on Amazon, and I break it down here. I put how many of each denomination I need, and then the money total of that, and then I put a total at bottom. That's what I give to the teller when I go to the bank. So once I go to the bank and I get my money, I usually do this right in the bank parking lot. I take my money and I go through my wallets. Here are my 2 wallets. This one, the green one, is for the absolute must expenses. Like, these are expenses that aren't going anywhere. It's what I absolutely have to have. Rent, lights, phone, all of those. This brown one is more for the more flexible ones. Oops, gotta take these out. So what I do is, for each one of the categories, what I've done is I make these little, see, I do paper crafting, and so I like to do these little inserts, and I put the category, and I put right here how much I'm putting in there for every week paycheck that I have. So I put that in the front of each and every one of them, and I go right through my wallet. This is my wallet. So I go through every one, and I just put in, I take the money, and I put in, oh, this gets 60, so I put a 50 and a 10. Then I go to the next one and I put in 15, a 10 and a 5. I put that in there, and so on and so forth until I get all done, all of them. And so, and this one here, this is all of my, sorry guys, I forgot to take out my cards. Didn't want to have that on camera. So this is what like I said, my absolute positive, I have to have these. And one thing that I've done is there's a couple categories here that were kind of like I know for sure how much I'm going to need for the year. And what I did was when I got my bonus, because I get a bonus every year at my work, usually in May, what I did was I paid them in full for the year. This is my water bill. I knew what that was going to be for the year, and my property taxes, my auto insurance. So I paid them in full, and I stuck that note in there to give myself a heads up when I, do my weekly budgeting. And so I did everything I could. I paid off what I could to bring this total here down to as low as I possibly could so that each and every paycheck had more going into my house fund. So as these paid in full ones get paid off, like in August, I'll pay my property taxes. When that gets paid off in August, I'll start again putting money in here. And I figure for my taxes, I know I need how much I need per year. I divide that by 52, and that comes up with what I need each week to put in for my property taxes. So, and here are those three up here. So this is how simple the budgeting thing is. I can't even tell you how simple and easy this is. I like simple, guys. I don't like things complicated. And so this works for me. On this page over here is literally the steps I've taken. Now, I do Dave Ramsey. I know everybody's heard of Dave Ramsey. He's been around for a really long time, but I never really had really the extra income. I've had my job now for 8 years, and as time's gone on and I have earned more money, I've been able to do this. And so I'm actually on baby step 6. So baby step 6 is pay off your home. Well, I don't even have one yet, so I'm saving for my home. But anyway, so this is what I do. I figure out what I need, I put it on my cash budgeting slip, bring it to the bank, and then fill all of my categories with the cash that I have. So what I just wanted to go over my wallets. I love these wallets. You keep my cards in here, and what I mean by cards is my license and my insurance cards and my debit card. I do not have credit cards. I don't believe in them. I never have. And so that's one of the ways I save money. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, these wallets. These here are the envelopes that come in the wallets. And they have this little zippy thing. See, it's open, you zip it, and it closes it. I don't particularly care for these little zippy things. I ripped them all off on my wallet. But the hard part is, they stick together and you can't get them apart. You got to like rip it at the end. So I'm probably going to cut off the top portion of these. However, I do believe they sell them on Amazon. I bought these on Amazon. And I think they sell some on Amazon without that little zippy thing. So that's going to be my next purchase. I probably am someday going to have an Amazon store, and I'll put them in my store. But for now, this is what I've done. So how I earn the money to, buy my land. And also, too, guys, I paid off a car. I had bought my land, and my car, I needed a new vehicle unexpectedly because my vehicle wouldn't pass inspection. So I needed to buy a vehicle. And so when I had my land, I just found it was really hard, if not impossible, to get anything saved while I had this debt of my vehicle hanging over my head. So I used this system to pay off my vehicle. Now, guys, I make under $50,000 a year, and I paid off my car, which was just under $16,000 in a year. And I did it by doing this. All the frugal things on my YouTube channel. That's how I live my life. This cash budgeting. There is one thing about Dave Ramsey I will say that I do disagree with, and it's the emergency fund. He says to have he says to have $1,000 in your emergency fund, and I don't agree with that. I say you need to have at least 3,000. When I started this journey a few years ago, I just so happened to have $3,000 in the bank, and my cat got sick. And the bill for her vet bill was $1,200. Now, if I had gone with what Dave Ramsey said and kept $1,000, I would have never been able to, I wouldn't have been able to pay. I mean, if you think about it, you got $1,000 in emergency fund and your cat gets sick or your kid gets sick or your vehicle breaks down. If it's a $1,200 bill, you're screwed. You don't have enough money to cover it. So I kept $3,000 in mine, and it's a good thing I did, because by the time that year was over for me paying off my car, I was down to $1,000. So I had needed $2,000 in that year for different things. Now I had this, my spending plan was down to like as minimal as I possibly could. Some of my categories only had a couple dollars in it. And so anyway, that's basically what I do for my my cash spending plan. There are, I think, 4 months out of the year where you have 5 paychecks. Those months, I take that entire 5th paycheck and I put it away for my house. I put it on my car when I was paying off my car. So, my bonus, anything extra. I put a bunch of things on Facebook Marketplace while I was paying off my car. So, that's how I did it. And if I did it, you guys can do it too. I just really wanted to make this video, very excited about it, because I've done it this way, and I know there are people out there who think they can't. I couldn't ever buy a land. I can't afford land. Well, yeah, you can. And I'm going to do a lot more videos about cash budgeting and buying land, developing land while using cash. So I hope you guys all stay tuned and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you on the next one.